Today I'm going to show you how to use the clone stamp tool properly in Photoshop, step by step, so you can remove distractions, fix blemishes, and blend edits naturally without damaging your original photo. If you've ever tried cloning before and ended up with obvious seams, repeating patterns, or strange-looking patches, this tutorial will help you do it the right way. And if this video helps you out, make sure to hit like and subscribe for more practical Photoshop tutorials. Let's jump in. The first thing you want to do is set up a non-destructive workspace. This is really important because you should never clone directly onto your original image layer. If you paint over the wrong area, you want the freedom to adjust or fix it later. So, in the Layers panel, keep your photo layer as it is. Then click the Create a New Layer icon at the bottom of the panel to make a brand new empty layer above it. Rename that layer something simple like Cloning. This keeps your workflow clean and organized, especially if you're editing multiple parts of an image. Now grab the Clone Stamp tool by pressing S on your keyboard. Once the tool is active, look up at the top options bar. You'll see a setting called Sample. By default, it usually says Current Layer, but for this method, change it to Current and Below, or All Layers depending on your Photoshop version. This step is critical because it tells Photoshop to sample the pixels from the image underneath, while writing the cloned result onto your empty cloning layer. That means your original photo stays protected, and all your edits remain flexible. Next, you need to configure your brush style correctly. A bad brush edge is one of the fastest ways to make cloning look fake. To adjust the brush, right-click anywhere on your canvas to open the brush preset picker. For most cloning work, set the hardness somewhere between 0 and 20%. A softer edge helps the cloned area blend more naturally into the surrounding texture, skin, fabric, or background. If the edge is too hard, your edit will stand out immediately. If it's too soft, it may look blurry, so aim for a balanced setting depending on the photo. While you're still in the top options bar, check your opacity and flow settings. In most cases, you'll want both of them set to 100% when you're doing clean coverage. That gives you full control over the pixels you're applying. Also make sure the aligned box is checked. This is very important because it allows your sample point to move along with your brush strokes, which helps the cloning feel natural and prevents repetitive stamping in one fixed spot. Now it's time to define your source point, which is the heart of the Clone Stamp tool. The clone stamp works by copying pixels from one area and placing them somewhere else. You have to tell Photoshop where to copy from first. Zoom in on your image so you can see the area you want to fix clearly. Then move your brush cursor over a clean area that matches the texture, lighting, and color of the part you want to remove. If you're removing a blemish on skin, sample from nearby skin with similar tone and grain. If you're fixing a section of background, sample from the nearest matching pattern. Hold down Alt on Windows or Option on Mac. Your cursor will change into a target-like crosshair. Click once to lock in that sample point, then release the key. That crosshair is your source anchor, and Photoshop will now use that area as the reference for cloning. The closer your sample matches the target area, the better the result will look. Now move your brush over the blemish, object, or unwanted distraction you want to remove. Instead of making one huge stroke, paint with short, controlled clicks or small brush movements. This gives you much more precision and helps prevent obvious edges. If you're working on skin retouching, keep your strokes light and subtle. If you're removing objects from a textured surface like grass, concrete, fabric, or walls, take your time and follow the natural direction of the texture. One of the biggest mistakes beginners make is painting too far without changing the source point. If you keep cloning from the same spot over and over, Photoshop can create repeating patterns that are easy to spot. To avoid that, frequently resample from a fresh, clean area. Just tap Alt or Option again, click a new source point, and continue painting. This keeps the texture randomized and much more believable. As you work, zoom in and out often so you can check your progress. What looks good close-up should also look natural when viewed at normal size. If something feels off, you can always switch to a smaller brush, resample, and refine the problem area. Because you're working on a separate layer, you also have the flexibility to lower the layer opacity, erase small mistakes, or even start again without affecting the original image. Another useful habit is to match the direction of the texture. For example, when cloning hair, fabric folds, brick lines, or wood grain, pay attention to how the lines flow in the image. If you ignore the direction, the edit can look pasted on instead of blended in. Good cloning is all about observation, patience, and small adjustments. Once you've finished, zoom out and review the entire image. Look for any repeated shapes, strange edges, or soft spots that don't belong. If needed, go back and make a few final touch-ups. When you're happy with the result, you can keep the cloning layer editable for future changes, or merge it later if your project is complete. So that's how to use the Clone Stamp tool properly in Photoshop. Set up a non-destructive layer, choose the right brush softness, sample carefully with Alt or Option, and paint with short controlled strokes while resampling often. Once you get the technique down, it becomes one of the most powerful tools for clean photo retouching and object removal. If this tutorial helped you, please hit the like button and subscribe for more Photoshop tips, editing workflows, and beginner-friendly tutorials. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.